Fusiliers of all ages marched through Westminster. The campaign to save the Second Battalion, Royal Regiment of Fusiliers, is one of the highest profile signs of dissatisfaction at the defence cuts. The Royal Regiment of Fusiliers has one of the proudest histories in the British Army. And even though they've been cut before in previous rounds of defence cuts, it's the decision to take the Royal Regiment of Fusiliers down to a single battalion as part of the reforms known as Army 2020 that's angered these men and the thousands of others that have signed their petition.
I'm organising the campaign in Parliament because it's a terrible decision. We are axing the best recruited battalion in the British Army. Meanwhile, 5 original battalions that were due to be axed, more poorly recruited battalions, the 2RF was never part of that 5, but a decision was made to save one of those more poorly recruited battalions, and they had to go hunting for another battalion, and for some reason they chose 2RF.
The Ministry of Defence insists certain battalions have to go as part of its efforts to rebalance the new, smaller army. But that argument hasn't convinced the 20,000 people who've signed this petition.
We have never been explained the logic or the reason why it was selected. We think it was a political decision which bears no military logic. So we're expressing that anger, which we did this time last year, and we are still out there protesting.
Gentlemen.
The anger at the cuts spilled onto the floor of the Conservative Party conference last month, when retired Fusilier Colonel Ian Brazier was thrown out for heckling the Defence Secretary.
I had tried all the correct channels. I was saddened and frankly sickened by the evasion and avoidance of all the queries under the Freedom of Information Act.
Parliament debates the cuts this week in a backbench debate on defence reform. The results, though, won't be binding. Army 2020 seems an unstoppable force. Will Inglis, Forces News, Westminster.